Hey planner friends, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lita, and today what I'm going to be doing is an update on my Hobonichi Weeks and on my Cousin Avec. We're going to be doing a little bit of a plan with me. So I hope you stick around and like what you see. And if you do, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content, also consider hitting that subscribe button down below. With that, let's get right into it. I am going to start with my weeks. I've been really happy with it. I've been keeping it really simple. I'm trying to figure out, oh, I know why. I was trying to figure out why all those papers were sticking out, and it's because my brother came by and asked him to check my lottery tickets. So I haven't done anything with the bottom of these. People talk about them fraying, but I know it's only a couple weeks in, but so far everything has been great. This is my setup, what I've been doing, and it's working. The only change I made was literally adding a line here and giving myself a little space for meal planning at the top and groceries, because I found I was having a lot of space on that side over there. So let me go ahead and show you how very simple my layout is for my weeks. I'm really happy with how I've managed to simplify this. As you can see, this is my wallet, but you know, you can't really see any of my information back here, but I've got my credit cards here and cash and miscellaneous things here. And all that I need to do for my weeks is literally to make 3 lines. I mean, how much simpler can things get than that? Okay, so I make this one line on the left side where my date is, because I enjoy to put the weather. Every morning I look up when I wake up. I already did it this morning. Today is actually Saturday the 9th when this is being recorded. And I look up the temperatures and I put what the condition is, and I kind of look out the window to see if the weather person is going to be accurate. Then on the other side over here, I make another line from top to bottom, and one more. And I will put over here daily meals. I don't really need to write this because obviously I know what it is. Meal planning, meal plan. And over here I will write groceries. I should just write shopping because I'm actually writing in things sometimes. Like right now I'm going to actually write, well, I'll wait and see. Where I should be writing it over here is sprocket film. I know I need to buy some brioche loaf. But that's like, I'm almost like future planning right now because I know that for next week kind of what I want to do. So this is how simple it is that what I do. I will add, I get a little fancy sometimes. Let's see if it's dried. Yes, it has. And I'll just highlight that. And what I do over here, like I said, is I put the weather over here, any kind of physical activity. If I hike, I write my trail information, like how long it took me to do that trail, how many miles was the trail, how many steps. Sometimes I'll record my heart rate, my beats per minute, the low to the high end, and then I'll write calories. That I have a little Fitbit, and I just transfer the data into here. If I bike, I'll write the same thing in general, or if I just walk in the neighborhood, I may write that information down too. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing in that section here. This is my food consumption each day. I write breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks, and I'm having one day I over snacked a bit. Not necessarily a bad way, but I did. I just snacked a lot that day. So maybe I didn't have quite enough room, but in general, 98% of the time. I have more than enough room for it here. So this is working out for me, and this is literally how simple I will keep it. I'm not going to write forecast or weather here, or I could write body in motion, but I'm just going to leave it that way. I do already have an idea of some of the food, my meals, what I'm going to do for next week, but I don't think you need to see me writing that down, what I plan to do. I'll wait until tomorrow on the Sunday and I'll fill this in, but I'm pretty sure what some of my things are that are going to be, and I'll leave that though. Other than that, there's not a lot going on. In my monthly calendar section, it's very blank right now. I have not used it at all, and I think a big part of it is because, and I need to get myself accustomed to using these. Let me go to the monthly. So yeah, I've been writing in some appointments, but as for January, I got lazy, and that's because I've been using my Cousin Avec. But I do need to update this and to fill this in. And also, while I'm here, let me just go ahead and update this. Yesterday, is today the 8th? I have to look. It's the 9th. So yesterday, 8th, was a hike, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was a nature hike as well. Okay, so I've updated this. That's good. So this is very minimal. My weeks is very minimal, but I do need to actually update this. I haven't done it, and I'm glad that the thing is that this is my everyday carry. So I'm kind of stumbling over my words here because I feel like I should be doing a better job of keeping this up. But you'll see in a minute. Let's go to it, and I'll show you what's happening in my Cousin Avec. Okay, so I had a little bit of technical difficulties, so I'm going to continue doing this plan with me, and we already went over the weeks, and that part I managed to save, but I'm going to go over what unfortunately didn't get recorded in my last video. So we're in my Cousin Avec, and I'm still keeping all of my stencils here, and I'm still keeping a bunch of different things in the back here, stickers and whatnot. But I am kind of really a little bit struggling in the sense of learning where are all my stickers, but I am committed to using up these stickers and just kind of keeping them nearby. So let's start out with, I'll go ahead and show you where I'm at. So with this January through June, which is very blank at the moment, should in theory be used for future log or could be indexing, but I'm considering not necessarily doing indexing, because if this was to be an index of every day of what my daily pages are, it would be very redundant, because I am basically using my dailies for just that, dailies, and it's a lot of journaling. So I could end up doing this as a future log, but I feel like that also could end up leaving this very blank, and I may just end up having to be okay with that. So the second section, ironically, is the part that I said I was going to also do January through June, and that I was going to write 3 different types of words that either it could be a highlight, it could be a word of the month, or it could be from like a highlight from that month or something along that lines. And that this section I was going to use for like affirmations, a gratitude, highlight from the day. And down here I was thinking to have photos. So so this is working out fine so far. That's exactly what I plan to do. I've got my word of the month as opposed to word of the year. I have my word of the month up here, and I am doing pretty good about writing down something positive or affirmation, gratitude, or just a reflection that's a highlight from the day. The month calendar is like, as you saw in my Hobonichi Weeks from my everyday carry, in the calendar, and here it was blank, and it's okay. All I'm going to do is I'm going to end up taking these things and I'm going to end up going and putting them into my months over here. From over here, oh wait, that's December, that's why it's filled up. Okay, so let me switch it over and I'll put it over to January, and I will fill in my weeks what these appointments are, but I will do that offline. I'll fill in all of these different things. This is just an old habit that this is my desk planner, and so what happens is I get a phone call and I come in here into my room and I'll write it in this, because this is kind of how, this is always pretty much right here on this desk. So it's just a habit for me to come in here, and I always did that even when I was living in New York, that when I came home from work, I would take my everyday carry and I would put it onto my desk. I'd take it out from my bag and I'd plop it onto my desk. The difference is now I have this little beautiful tiny little planner, and so I'm keeping that in my, I am taking it out from my bag or purse and putting it here onto my desk and taking it out when I get home. Actually, it doesn't always make it to this desk. A lot of times it makes it somewhere in the living room or in the kitchen, and by the end of the night it gets over here because I need it here for in the morning. But I'm just going to do that. I feel like I'm rambling on, so that's okay. That's just an old habit that I'm using, and I have to start allowing myself to use this the way I used to use it for more memory keeping. Right now, the only memory keeping I'm keeping in here is because I'm so focused on this 100 Florida trails in 2021. When I walk a specific trail, I'm logging it in here. But I can use this more, and I have to get myself in the habit of doing that. So let's move over to the weeks. This was my 2020, the last couple days and the first few days of 2021. And I was setting up with these habit trackers on the side. And also on the bottom, I had habit tracker for water, where I was putting breakfast, lunch, dinner. I like to have a glass of water in the morning when I first wake up to get my organs rehydrated and let my body be working as efficiently as possible. And I've been doing the emojis down here and filling in with various activities here and keeping my checklist on the top. And I always love to have my weather both in my weeks and in my desk planner because it's just something I enjoy. So what I discovered, I had a big epiphany this morning. Today is, oh, I didn't put what kind of day. Yesterday was, I'm sorry, I got distracted in the middle of talking. I realized I didn't finish filling out my weather. And yesterday was very cloudy. It was really cloudy. There was just this tiniest bit of sun, but it was really cloudy, really cloudy. I'm going to put another extra cloud. And today is cloudy with not much hope for sun. So when it's really super cloudy, I do that. And the temperature for today, let's take a look real quick. It's going to be, can you believe in Florida? Well, in the part of Florida that I'm at, the high is going to be 55. And what did they say? The low is going to get really cold, 30. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I have very little confidence in the weather person. I don't think that you know the weather until it's happening. Okay, so what I had an epiphany about my weeks is, I keep calling this my desk planner, but I don't feel like I am really truly planning. I noticed the difference. I noticed the similarities and the difference from when I was living in New York City and my life was very different a year ago. If you don't know, so what happened is not just this pandemic, but my mother had a serious health illness, and I ended up leaving everything in New York and moving down to Florida to take care of my mother. So being social and working and having a career in New York City is very different than living in Central North Florida, taking care of your elderly parent. So my big epiphany with my planner, and I use these little air quotes, is that I am not really doing a lot of planning. And I showed you that section in the front where it has like your this is what I call my future log, or if this had been my index, like even as an index, I don't feel like it'll get utilized well, but I don't feel such a great need for a future log. Even when I lived in New York City, I didn't need the future log so much, but I definitely did need it because where I worked at, there were events that were coming up in the future and I had to mark out those dates, or whether it was my personal vacation dates or some type of social event that was coming up or that I wanted to, I still did use my future planner. But I don't feel like I'm going to be using it so much now because of my lifestyle change. Everybody's lifestyle changed with the pandemic. Mine just had a double hit because literally I didn't leave New York City because of the pandemic. I left it because my mother needed me, and so I did what a good daughter should do. And I came down here to take care of her. And what how this affects my weeks is I don't feel like how sometimes I want to keep it 100 because for me, part of the whole point of my channel is that uh, it's not a fancy, aesthetic, professional type of channel. I'm just your everyday person next door, and I'm going through the same struggles or confidence or lack of confidence or insecurities or unsureness about how to use our journals and planners. That's like one of the number one things what I always see on people in different chat groups about journaling and stationary things is that whether you're bullet journaling or your art journaling, is people always like, how do I start or what do I do? And so I like to share how my progress is going, how the process is going, and how the progress is happening. So what I've realized in this week is that I'm not really doing a lot of planning, and that I need to be okay with that, and that I don't need to go and put a whole bunch of stickers and write down plans and things, because if I do a plan with me, that's what other people do. That maybe those people have, I don't, my children are grown up. My daughters, thankfully, are doing very well and they're living independently and they're having lives of their own. But the days of me having to plan about are they getting picked up from school, do they have a project due, is very different from someone my age, but yet again it's still very same in the sense of that I still need a bit of flexibility, but I still need to plan my day. Now why I need to plan my day is different. Just like many of you with this pandemic, one of the things is trying to find out how the new normal will be. For me, it was doubled over with the fact of taking care of my mother. I needed to find out what the new normal was going to be back in March and April. And back then, what I used to do is I would literally write in, because we were all shut in, right? I would write something like, oh, water plants, feed the cat, clean the kitchen. Maybe on this day I would write clean the bathroom, but I'd still write feed the cat, water the plant, do gardening. So I would put tasks and stuff for myself to do, because there is a sense of comfort in organizing your day. And that's what I find what I do more so is that I am now, instead of planning this week and maybe the week ahead and keeping a better track on my month and months to come, I'm living more daily and more weekly with the occasional month ahead situation. Eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to get back to work. My mother's eligible for the vaccination, and I feel confident about the vaccination. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not advocating saying you should. I just feel that that's what the best choice is, and I feel confident in the vaccination process and that it'll be good for my mother to have it and myself. So I'm hoping once I have a vaccination that probably I will also go back to work, because I just don't want to have been here all this past year getting my mother into good health only to come and bring home the coronavirus and get her dying from that. And I don't want to die from that either, because I have immune deficiency issues as well. So, like I have asthma. So can you imagine someone with asthma getting the coronavirus and not being able to breathe? It's already an issue. You don't need that. So, what I've done is that I've decided that to be 100 and to realize I don't have to have like the fancy planner if I do a plan with me. And maybe what I'll do is I won't do so much plan with me videos, but I may do more of a flip through and an occasional plan with me just to show how things are evolving. So for example, I've gone from last week from having these habit trackers down here on the side, along with a habit tracker for water that I track if I took water in the morning when I woke up, before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner, because I believe having a glass, very large, tall glass of water before a meal helps to feel you satiated. So this will help me with my health and wellness and nutrition goals. So what I've done though this week, you can see my trackers here are different. Now I'd planned to do this actually with you, but like I said, I had some technical difficulties. So I'm just going to show you what I did. I'm still keeping the task list up here. Instead of having this as a water tracker, I've put back the 3 teardrops that are actually comes from this week's stencil, and the task list at the top comes from this Hobonichi stencil. So I've put those up there, and what I'll do is generally I wake up in the morning like I did this morning and I write down what are the things that I want to accomplish in that day. So for a couple days I've been saying, like yesterday I wrote cello, but I didn't play my cello, I didn't practice. So I'm like, I got to practice my cello today. I've been writing down video for a couple days and I've been procrastinating. So today I wrote down video, and I really wanted to go on a hike today, but I'm like, I keep putting off doing the video. If I go on a hike, it's going to be 3 hours. By the time I come home, I'm going to be tired. This will never get done. I need to put video to the top of my priorities. And then I just wrote some other things that I want to do in the day. Now this sticker and this sticker are really a big part of what happened. That these 2 stickers are what made me realize, hey, I'm putting these stickers down because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing, because I watch these other videos and people do plan with me and they plan out their whole week. I'm like, no, I got to keep it 100 and tell people this is not me. Look, what ended up happening is I ended up using this sticker over here. I'd already put this down, but I ended up putting this down because I ended up doing my cleaning on this day, and I ended up doing some cleaning. Actually, I did a little bit on yesterday, even though I didn't write it down in here. So it's like today I could do some house cleaning, but the major cleaning that I needed to do, I had already done it on Wednesday. And laundry, last night I was saying to my mother, oh, I think I'm going to do laundry tomorrow because it's going to be sunny outside. And when it's sunny, I like to do laundry because I like to use the line that I have outdoors. We live in Florida. We have the sun. And I'm like, if I can reduce our carbon footprint a little bit and save us a little money at the same time, I will use the line out in the backyard. I have no problem with that. I used to do that when I lived in Florida a long time ago. And so it's a habit I'm okay with. But what happened is I put laundry here, which it turns out today is going to be very cloudy, so it's not good for laundry anyway. Tomorrow should be more sunny, so that'll be okay. But putting these 2 stickers down and realizing I did it because I kind of felt like that's what I was supposed to do, is I was supposed to plan and put my stickers down. I realized that was not being real, that's not how I really plan. So if the purpose of me is to show you this, it's just an everyday person next door, not somebody who's a professional YouTuber, to show you how my process is and how I'm evolving, then it wouldn't be, it would be like there'd be no reason for me to be making these videos. It's like I don't need to. And I hope if you decide, like, I enjoy making the videos and putting them out there with you, and sharing them with you. There's a lot of other people that are changing from using Stalogy to Hobonichi, and so I know this is all new for you too. So just sharing with you how it is that my process is going, I hope helps you to feel maybe more confident in how your process is going. This little strip being not where it's supposed to be was bothering me. Okay, this is for my weeks. The triangle is for my weeks I'm learning, and the square, the rectangle is for the months. although you can do it whatever way you like. So what happened this month, I went ahead and I used the tasks, and I've changed and I put these droplets here for my water, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I have put over here, this is a task. This is going to be for a habit tracker. And I'm looking for my black pen. So what happened is this habit tracker that comes with my book has a Sunday start. And I like a Monday start, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I realized is instead of using all these little weekly trackers that take up all this space, what I track is hiking, walking, bike, yoga or melt method, and weights. So what I realized is there's enough squares down here that if on a Monday, and then what happens is on some days I do multiples. This day I walked, I biked, and I did weights. So if that happens, I have 5 squares here. So I would be able to put a H for hiking, a B for biking, a W for walking, etc. That I could put that here. Now, something that's different is that I joined this gym, so I'm not going to put, I think, weights up here anymore. I might. Now I'll put WE or WT. Because W will be walk, and then I could have weights be WT, but I doubt it. What I'll probably do is just include this as gym and weights, because a big part of why I want to go there is to use very specific equipment. So what I'm going to do is I put gym down here as a tracker, because that's something that's new for me, and also it'll take up the space of this one if I wanted to. But the gym in general, so I'm going to put that there. I did go ahead and I had some stickers, and I'm being good. I put my appointment sticker here, and I have a reminder because I have family visiting on this day. And then instead of putting another appointment sticker here, I just wrote cello lesson and the time, and I used my stencil. This is the blue one that the stencil has musical notes on it over here. Another sticker that I added that came from my Paper Studio Agenda 52 planner is this little call sticker where there are certain people in my family that I want to start calling every week. I may add more, but so yeah, I want to start trying to call certain people weekly. Oh, I just realized that there was a phone call this week, 2 phone calls that I need to still make. But anyway, so that is how I'm using it. I'm going to still be putting the emojis down here. I'm going to be putting something probably motivational here, which, believe it or not, is a big part of why I wanted to minimize these stickers somehow. There was a part of me that almost wanted to almost not use these at all and do it the way I was doing it in my Stalogy, with just writing the lines and putting the square for each one of my habits. But I decided, no, Lita, you want to use up your stickers. This sticker will work great. This will work great. Use your stickers. Allow yourself. Even here, I resisted. I used my stencil, which is still okay. But I'm trying to simplify the products and stuff, what I have. So I'm like, I need to start using the stickers. So why you won't see me putting anything else down here is because pretty much what happens is each morning I wake up and I do fill in my task list for the day. What are my priorities, my things that what I want to get done? And I do want to track my water. And then the rest of this, it will be not so much planning as opposed to more of like memory keeping. But I do still have some space for planning. And if something pops up and I have an appointment or something comes up, I have space. I can fill it in. Obviously, there's tons of space. But this is how I'm using my weekly. And then I like to highlight the week also. Now, the daily section is going great. I do want to show you right before, in January, before the first month. In the first month, you get 1 blank page, and then you get 1 page per day for each day of the month. But before the 1st of January, they give you these 2 blank pages where it says turning a new page, and it kind of gives you space for either writing whatever you want, but it's like obvious that it seems like you could put your goals, or you could do a summary of last year, things you know, that went well, things that didn't go well, things that, you know, that you want to look back on and kind of like summarize or evaluate, and what your new goals are. But what I've done is I've taken these 2 pages and I put them together, and I've made what I consider to be my oh goodness, vision board. Sorry, I had a brain lapse there. So what I did is I found this picture, which is of me hiking the Major Welch Trail in upstate New York, up in Bear Mountain. And I took my delicious Jelly Roll 10 and I wrote, somewhere in your journey, don't forget to turn around and enjoy the view. And it's a picture of me turning around to enjoy my partner is standing down there below telling me to look down. But it's a gorgeous view from this mountain down over the Hudson Valley. Yeah, over the mountains, not the Hudson Valley, but over the mountains. Yeah, I guess it is the Hudson Valley. So what I did is I wrote my word of the year over here, which is explore. And I took this kind of typewriter set, stamp set, and I wrote in different words that are things that I want to explore more of. Over here, I wrote 2020 instead of 2021. So I took out my infamous Jelly Roll 10 and whited out the 0. I left the little top part there and I turned it into a 1. So big mistake there. I was like, 2020, no, I want to look back, but no, this is 2021. We're off to a new start. So even though last year was filled with a lot of hard changes, difficult changes, definitely challenges, there was still so many things to be grateful for, and there was still so much to remember to smile about and to be happy about. So I felt like this picture of me looking back and remembering, it's good to stop once in a while and to remember everything that's wonderful and good that is in your life and has come into your life and that has come to pass and brought you to where you are. So, but now I want to explore, and these are all different areas that I want to explore. And as a matter of fact, here is self-care, which is my word for January. So I was really trying to figure out what to do with that first blank page of January. And I just decided to keep it simple and that I really loved this quote. And into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul. And with self-care being my word for the month, I thought that was a really good quote. And I've just been really enjoying doing journaling and memory keeping inside the daily pages. So you could see how I'm doing so much journaling and memory keeping that's why I'm saying that I think that's how I'm going to continue to honestly continue to use every day. No, but pretty much most of the days, yes. I will occasionally brainstorm, and I will use this for like planning larger projects. I feel fine to use my daily page for that. If that's what motivates me on that day, that's what I need to do, then that's what I'll do. So it's possible that I'll still use this for indexing and maybe for future log and combine the two. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, because otherwise this is just going to be left unused. So I think I can use this for indexing, basically whether it's journaling, if it's brainstorming, if it's planning, then I can do that here, and I can color code it. I think with 3 or 4 colors, if it's journaling, I could pick a color. If it's some type of planning and brainstorming, I could pick a color. And if it's something that's an appointment future log, I could pick a 3rd color, and that way this entire space here would be able to be utilized. So I'm thinking that's what probably will happen. And I do have an idea for photos that could go on this side, but I'm still not 100% sure. But at least this section, I feel pretty confident I'll be able to get used and utilized by doing the combination of those things. Other than that, just want to show you how my trails, my 100 is working great in this book. I'm really happy. I'm writing down the names of the trails. I'm writing down the names of the parks, and then which trails over here, number 1, 2, 3, and 5 correlate to this park. So I'm pretty happy, because I'm thinking that it could happen over time that some of the trails I'll forget what park they were in, and so it'll be good to be able to cross-reference it with this index that I've left myself enough space to add more. in case I go to more parks than what's on there. I'm already using my online orders, and yeah, I do have a section back here for addresses, which is not filled in yet, and I used all of this and realized I'm going to end up needing to do that over here. So I'll take some paper like I did here from my Stalogy, and I will glue it down into here, and I will make this a second addresses page. That is where I'm at. That is the planning, what I'm doing for this week. I know I need to finish in, as a matter of fact, I should probably write that into my planner over here about I need to finish up the addresses. Yeah, so, and I need to transfer the information into here from this planner. So that's where I'm at, and that is all that I've got for now. So wherever this meets you at, if it is morning, noon, or night, I wish all of you well. Take care. Bye.